economic activity. He assured that he would uphold the rule of law, but warned that lawlessness and violence would not be tolerated. He revealed that a State Security Council meeting had been convened during which strategic measures were outlined to de-escalate tensions and prevent further conflict. Expressing gratitude to President Tinubu for entrusting him with the responsibility, Ibas also acknowledged the National Assembly for approving the emergency declaration. Still in Rivers State, APC led by Chief Tony Okocha has expressed satisfaction on the declaration of state of emergency in Rivers State. A statement signed by the Rivers State APC chairman, Tony Okocha, the party said, the decision by Mr. President was clearly the best of all possible decisions to checkmate the brewing circumstances of economic sabotage and general problems that were trickling and bedeviling the peace in Rivers State. The party recalled how Mr. President, in his very light schedules, took out time to meet with the critical stakeholders in Rivers State in the environment of the House, Abuja, adding that the meeting was advisory and produced 8-point resolution as backup, which was read before the full glare of attendees as well as former Governor Peter Odili. It also recalled that after every paragraph was read, the President paused to ask if it was acceptable to all, and everyone accepted and also signed the 8-point resolution, beginning with the suspended Governor Fubara. The statement accused the suspended Governor Fubara of displaying total disregard and disrespect for the rule of law and carried on with the immunity clause of Section 308. The APC also made reference to the Supreme Court judgment wherein the courts clearly said there was no government in Rivers State within the period under review as there was no legislature at the time. Trans-Niger Pipeline in Bodo Community, Gokana local government area of Rivers State, belonging to Renaissance Africa Energy Holdings, has resumed operations after a fire incident on Monday night. A company spokesman said the pipeline was tested and it passed the integrity, saying there was no blast on the facility, adding that the TMP transports 450,000 barrels of crude oil per day to the Boni Export Terminal using a pipeline network. Renaissance Africa Energy Holdings just completed the landmark transaction between itself and Shell to acquire the entire equity holding in the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria. Why explosion on the pipeline were one of the reasons why President Bola Tinubu declared a state of emergency in Rivers State. Confirming the incident, the Rivers State Police Public Relations Officer SP Grace Irenge Koko said the fire was noticed on Monday night during a security patrol, and Renaissance has immediately shut down the affected pipeline and activated safety measures. In Edo State, Anti-Kidnapping Task Force has demolished a property in Uromi, a San North local government area belonging to Odianosen Odo, due to his involvement in kidnapping activities in Edo Central. A statement issued on Thursday in Benin by Fred Itwa, Chief Press Secretary to the Edo Governor, confirmed that the demolition followed Obo's arrest and confession to his role in multiple kidnappings. The Special Advisor to the Governor on Security Affairs, Akere Po, who supervised the demolition, reiterated the government's commitment to eradicating kidnapping in the state. In Abia State, Police Command says in order to uphold discipline in the force, it has defeated and dismissed one of its mobile police officers over unethical conduct. A statement by the command and signed by the Police Public Relations Officer DSP Maureen Chinaka on behalf of the Commissioner of Police Danladi Isar said the Inspector Kufere Moses, formerly serving at Mopo 55 PMF Aba and attached to UBA Bank Guard in Aba, Abia State, has been dismissed from the Nigerian Police Force, effective 21st February 2025. Issa reaffirmed the command's zero tolerance for unprofessional conduct and assured the public that the command will not condone the activities of bad elements within the force, adding that the command remains committed to the Inspector General of Police vision of ensuring a professionally competent, service-driven, rule of law compliant, also facing murder charges following the December 2024 children's event stampede that led to the death of 35 children. Justice B.K. Olawoyin, delivering judgment on Thursday, ruled that holding the defendants liable could discourage the public from engaging in humanitarian activities. The court dismissed 4-count charge, which included acceleration of death, conspiracy, negligence, causing harm and failure to provide adequate medical facilities and security. Reacting to the court judgment, the State Commissioner of Justice and Attorney General Judgment Biodun Okiomo said it's in the interest of justice to discontinue the case, adding there is no case against the suspects. Moving on, Benue Police Command has gunned down 12 bandits terrorizing the Buruku local government area of the state. The command's police public relations officer, SP Sewese Anene, who disclosed this in a statement on Thursday in Makadi, said the command unfortunately lost one of its personnel, Inspector Tefa Anyatse, during an exchange of gunfire with the bandits. The PPRO said the Commissioner of Police Steve Yabanet had on March 6th ordered tactical commanders and divisional police officers to clamp down on criminals in the state, while the order became necessary when the command noticed a regrouping of criminal gangs. She said, following the directives, the Operation Zenda Joint Task Force embarked on raids across the state, and the bandits were taken to a hospital where they were confirmed dead and the corpses were deposited at the hospital mortuary. The CP commiserated with the family and friends of the deceased officer and prayed for the repose of his soul, and also extolled the courage of the operatives involved in the operation. In a similar case in Katsina State, Police Command has forwarded a kidnap attempt on Gidan Zuma village in the Sabua local government area of the state. A statement by the state's police public relations officer, Deputy Superintendent of Police Abubakar Sadiq, on Thursday said the armed men stormed the area on motorcycles wielding weapons such as AK-47 rifles, attempting to block Inono Feeder Road in the village while attempting to kidnap unsuspecting commuters. The statement also said, based on credible information, that a group of suspected bandits wielding weapons such as AK-47 rifles riding on motorcycles attempted to block Inono Feeder Road to Gidan Zuma village, Subawa local government area, intending to kidnap unsuspecting commuters. The police intensified to arrest the fleeing suspect as operatives combed the area for possible apprehension of the fleeing suspect. The CP commends the bravery and swift response of the operatives, who have once again demonstrated a commitment to ensuring the protection of lives and properties of the good people of Katsina State. You are watching the Transition on Atlantic Television Network. We'll return shortly after this break. Welcome back. This is Atlantic Television Network Transition. Now to the rest of our stories. Senate has unanimously approved the state of emergency declared in Rivers State by President Bola Tinubu, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, who read the president's letter during the Thursday plenary before lawmakers went into a closed-door session, and after the session, Akpabio put the matter to a voice note, with lawmakers overwhelmingly supporting the request. Announcing the decision, Akpabio said the Senate had exercised its powers under Section 305, subsection 2 of the Constitution to approve the President's proclamation. The upper chamber, relying on Section 11, subsection 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, resolved to set up a joint committee to oversight the administration of Rivers State Legislature and
hereby mandates the President to review for be invoked, providing the National Assembly the authority to set up a joint ad hoc committee of both chambers to oversight the administration of Rivers State henceforth. The Senate further resolves that a committee of eminent Nigerians be set up to reconcile the warring groups within the government of Rivers State within the period of the state of emergency in Rivers State. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the closed session? Approves the proclamation of the state of emergency 2025 declared by Mr. President in Rivers State of Nigeria as amended pursuant to Section 60, subsection pursuant to Section 60 of the Constitution, Section 305, subsection 2, and pursuant to our rules 1, sub B of the Standing Orders 135 and 136 of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Those in support of the declaration of the state of emergency in Rivers State say aye. And those against say nay. The ayes have it in unanimity.
In a similar situation, the House of Representatives also approved the suspension of Governor Fubara through a voice note by the 243 members in attendance.
Eminent Nigerians be set up to mediate, to ensure that there is peace in Rivers State, so that within the period of the emergency rule in Rivers State, the Parliament, working with the executive and other eminent Nigerians, will ensure that we all work together to make sure that the things that led to the emergency rule in Rivers State does not resurface after a period of time.
But the bottom line here is I listened to Mr. President's proclamation where he said that the sole administrator will be reporting to the Federal Executive Council. Mr. Speaker, I disagree, with that position and insist that the provision of Section 11(4) of the Constitution should take precedence over that.
We don't need to wait for a longer period of time. Within the shortest period of time, the matter can be resolved. So I believe the President should be given opportunity.
Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi-San has described the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State as a clear signal to other crisis-ridden states that the federal government will not tolerate breaches of the Constitution. Fagbemi said President Bola Tinubu took a bold decision to stop the state from complete collapse. stressing that Governor Sim Fubara would have been impeached if not for the presidential intervention. Faboyimi highlighted the broader implication of the recent declaration of the state of emergency in Rivers State, saying he would not mind advising the president to do the same in other states spiraling out of control, adding that the president's intervention was Sim Fubara's failure to deter militants from vandalizing oil pipelines. He said Tinubu had explored multiple avenues with other well-meaning Nigerians and taught leaders to resolve the crisis in Rivers before resorting to a state of emergency, adding that Rivers State's political turmoil stemmed from a power struggle between Governor Fubara and his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, now the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and escalated after Fubara demolished the State House of Assembly complex in December 2023. Leading to a prolonged battle over the legitimacy of the legislative arm. The crisis went to the 7 lawmakers